Your Excellency, insecurity in Eastern DRC has been a reality for the last 30 years. With billions spent, countless countries and peace processes established, but there seems to be no solution. Mr. President, does this go beyond scapegoating Rwanda? Are you actually the target?
Well, let me put it again in context and where we need to start from. What is the cause of the crisis in Eastern Congo? Definitely, it can't be Rwanda, it can't be Paul Kagame. We are not the cause of that conflict at all. And I think people know, they know the origin, they know the story, they know it's not Rwanda that created that crisis. Although it means, the way we are associated, Rwanda only became part of the crisis, was dragged into the crisis by a number of factors. One of them, if you remember, is as old as now 30 years, where the government, the genocidal government, the forces, and a lot of people went into Eastern Congo when we stopped the genocide here. And from that time, the crisis happened and it started changing faces depending on what is going on. You remember we returned millions of people who had fled into Eastern Congo. They are all back here, they are settled, and except there remained a few who had a direct hand in the genocide and didn't want to come back for the obvious reasons, but many came back. In fact, they are processed through the justice system, many were forgiven, even more never were processed in such a way that to do with justice, but went back to their homes straight. And that was resolved the matter. But these few who stayed behind, armed, or getting arms from the government or the whatever authorities in Congo, are the ones who, combined with the local problems in Eastern Congo, and fed off each other. The FDLR, something that kept changing names over the years, but the people are clear. And then the local groups that had their own issues combined. In fact, for example, one thing they combined on was, and worked together was, based on the ethnic ideology that was underlying genocide. They worked together with the groups to kill, to displace, to relocate the Congolese Tutsis, because they are there in Eastern Congo, as they may be in the south, Eastern Congo north or Eastern Congo south. So that's what led to and became part of the problem in 2012 when this group was born, the M23, and that is still has a link with what is happening today in Eastern Congo. When you see the hate speech, when you see the public execution and displacement of people and others being turned into refugees, you are aware we have over 100,000 now of refugees from Eastern Congo whose only crime was being Tutsis, but at the same time Congolese. But the Tutsi side is what caused them problems. How these people went to Congo, or happened to be in Congo as the citizens of Congo, is not an issue anybody can ask me to answer for, or hold Rwanda responsible for. The history is completely different. Some of the things, of course, if not most of them, happened even before some of us were here. I'm a very old man now, but those things happened before I was born.
Yeah.
So how can, so really that is the question now. And the issue of the UN peacekeepers or other efforts that were carried out to allegedly address the problems in Eastern Congo, the solution was never found, not even anywhere near to a solution. Yes, but so many groups were brought in from outside. This is why I'm saying outsiders don't really address many problems. They've spent many years, decades, so to speak. They spent so much money, but we have the problem even getting worse. So you don't also want to think that it is the problems of the outsiders. The bigger part is there has never been a government in Kinshasa, the capital of DRC, that addresses the problem. I'm not even sure whether they really want to address the problem. I think maybe having a problem, as long as it is hurting those you don't like, that's the way they want to keep it, and keep it forever. So Rwanda comes into question on that matter like that. And for us, we tried to work within the different frameworks that were created to address the crisis, the East African region, the African Union, whatever efforts that were there, even from the outside, whether it is the US or France or European Union or UK or China or whoever really wanted to participate or to contribute to a solution, we were there always working with them. But somehow the problem continues, and even it gets worse sometimes. But the main question to be raised is about the government, the governance of Congo itself. Because they should have seized on this opportunity where the whole world is present to help, but they end up not either helping or not helping adequately, or even worsening the problem. So Rwanda is just caught up in all that, but we really have little responsibility, if any. So we hope the efforts will one day move in the right direction. We hope maybe reason will prevail and some people will do the right thing. But Rwanda is there always to participate and support the efforts to find a peaceful resolution of the problem.
Yes, Your Excellency, you've mentioned that the problem has been there even before you were born. What can you tell those who choose to ignore the root causes and continue to highlight you as the problem?
Well, I don't mind highlighting me as a problem in as far as making an effort to find a solution that they don't want because of their own problems. Again, scapegoating does not provide a solution. And what they do in creating Rwanda or me as a scapegoat, I think is not a very smart idea, because everybody else in the world sees that you are actually avoiding dealing with the problem the way it should be dealt with and just creating a scapegoat. I don't think anybody needs to be given that much explanation or to be shown. There is nothing that is complicated about seeing how those who create scapegoats are doing it for their own reasons, their own benefit, their own politics, but very clearly, 100%, the matter lies in the hands of whoever is in charge of Congo. I don't know who. Maybe there's nobody in charge of that situation. Certainly, I'm not in charge of that situation.
Akwa Perezida wa Repubulika twakwakira indi telefone bakoze